Yeah. What up? Look at that finish. I'm doing pretty good in the store right now. Looks like it's let me move on to multiplayer. See how this goes.
Shit! No, block! Fuck! Fuck! Oh, what the fuck? Damn! Fuck! Fuck! Damn it! Oh shit! No! Fuck! Fuck off! Oh no! What the? Damn!
Mission complete. My work is finished here. Who will be my next target?
Well, I did say I was never really good at fighters, so... But damn, this game is crazy fun! Welcome to Perspective Gaming, I'm your host, Flame078, and this video is going to tell you if DragonBallZ Fighters is worth the time. A video series where I play the game, analyze the game, and then tell you if the game is worth the pickup. This is based on two things. Content available at release, and duration and longevity that I think the game can get. At the end, I'll tell you to pick up the game. You should pick up this game, but no need to rush, or you can pass up the game. But let's stop wasting time. Let's get right into it. Okay, so I don't like fighters because I'm not really good at them. I'm a typical button masher type of fighter, and that's what I've been doing since I was little. But DBZ is one of those games that I hold dear from my childhood. I played through all the Budokai series, Budokai 3 being my favorite all-time game, and I always loved playing with my friends and family, and usually being the best. Sometimes, depends. Fighters is a great callback to that. It's an extremely fast-paced and really easy to pick up game. Like I said, I'm a button masher, but over time I do learn how to do certain combos, and I do get pretty decent at trying to at least play the game, but I'm still total trash. With the 3v3 system that they have here at Fighters, you can really feel the Street Fighter / Marvel vs. Capcom feel that this game is trying to imitate, which I think it was trying to do from the beginning. So fans of those series will feel right at home with that. So diving right into the content. I have to admit, I was skeptical at first. Fighters tend to be really easy on this type of stuff in terms of solo gameplay, and it usually just leaves you with the ability to fight online and try to be the best online. And for me, since I don't like fighters, I've never really gone to that point and played games solely for the online multiplayer. That's just not why I play these games for. Like Injustice 2, I got this game because of Dragon Ball Z, and that's pretty much it. It's a great part of my childhood, and I knew a ton of my friends were going to be playing on, so I had to get in. But right, the content. Story mode. Jeez! This story mode though. I mean, it's not freaking Last of Us storytelling or anything, but just the sheer amount of time it takes to play is very astounding in my opinion. I just got through the first arc, and that took me about 5.5 hours. With only 72% completion. Like, what? Which, for a story mode in a fighter game, that's pretty awesome. The arc is divided up into like 15 maps, and on the maps you get to go around and pretty much just fight your way until you get to your boss. So depending how you play, you can take about roughly 20 minutes per map. And so like I said, it's going to take a while. I like to point out that upon completion, you get Android 21. So arcade mode is pretty much the multiverse of Injustice 2 or Towers in Mortal Kombat. You pick your fighters and beat a set of matches. There are about 3 courses and each of them have about different paths, so you can replay the course multiple times to get different outcomes. And then also once you beat a certain path, then you'll unlock that path in hard mode, which these hard modes, if you beat them, you get to unlock Super Saiyan God Goku and Super Saiyan God Vegeta, which is nice. I love being able to work and unlock something in game. So in this game, you join lobbies right from the get-go, and from the main lobby, you do everything in the game, from arcade to story to matchmaking. At first, I thought this was an online-only game, but then, thankfully, I proved it wrong. There's offline mode, so don't worry about that. You have arena matchmaking that allows you to play matches with people from your lobby. And then there's global, which, like it sounds, you play with everyone, no matter the restriction of lobbies or country. Well, actually, I think it's restricted by region. But what I found interesting about global was that you can start queuing up for global and do something else completely. Like after a match of global, I went to play arcade mode for a bit, but I didn't realize I was still queuing up for global. So in the middle of my match in arcade, I saw that I got a notification for matchmaking. So I'm like, what? So I jumped in and I played my match, and then after I was done with my match, it put me right back where I was in arcade mode so I can continue playing. That is pretty dope. And then of course we have your local multiplayer, so that way you couch potato heads can play to your heart's content and really bring back childhood memories and beat your friends on the couch like it's meant to. So that is the content in a nutshell. So what can you really get out of this? Well, like I mentioned earlier, one arc of story took me 5.5 hours, and there's 2 more just like that. So that's probably 15 plus hours just in story mode. And hey, don't get me wrong, and people who like playing fighting games, hear me out. And even if you're not a fighting game person, hear me out. Story is a great place to understand the mechanics of the game. Those 15 plus hours, they're not gonna feel like a waste because you're gonna use this opportunity to try out characters and be able to learn the intricate ways you can play the game. It was cool in the first arc that they sprinkled in tutorial battles, which they showed you how to do simple mechanics, which is good because by doing that over and over again, it reinforces the idea that you have different ways to battle, you know, instead of just button mashing, you know what I mean? So really take the time and play story if you're not a fighter and if you just want to brush up your skills. And if you are a fighting game fanatic, still play it because, hey, more practice, the better, right? Arcade is good because it gives you a good chunk of replay value if you're the type of person that likes to beat your own high score and tries to challenge yourself in that way. But even at the bare minimum, it allows you to shoot to unlock 2 more characters in the game, which is fantastic. I love being able to grind in hours to unlock something in game. I do admit matchmaking is a bit wonky and it has improved a little bit from the beta, but it's not that great. So please have patience with that, and if you really don't want to touch it, then stick to the other modes or stick to local multiplayer because that works just fine. So just by playing the game, you earn Zenny, which allows you to get capsules, which then allows you to get skins and lobby characters and other customization stuff for the game. 1,000 gets you 1 capsule, 10,000 gets you 10. But then right next to it, you see something called Z capsules, which looks premium and it spells microtransactions all over it. But that's not how that works. You get those when you get duplicated items. So essentially, you don't pay to get things in-game, which is nice. But this also means it adds more value and length to the game if you like to collect things, or what I like to call you a collection whore. My final thoughts are as follows. This game is fantastic. Phenomenal. Another surprising fighter to my game list, considering I don't like them. But it's Dragon Ball Z and it hits home for me for a lot of different reasons. This is really easy to pick up and it has a nuance of mastery that doesn't scare me in the least. I mean, unless you really grind some hours to get to an adept level, you would definitely get washed online multiple times. So understand that going in. I know that. So it's not my expectation that that's going to be the best value for my buck there. But that is the nature of the beast. Though there is a lot more meat in this game that you can really grind out solo by yourself and you really never have to touch online. And with local multiplayer intact, you have a great game to play with friends, just like the good old days. I personally think, coming from your average gaming enthusiast, this game is definitely worth the pickup. And that's the end of this video. Thank you for watching this installment of Worth the Time. Let me know if you plan on giving this game a try and I'll see you on the battlefield. Do you agree with what I said? If you played, what do you think of the game? What should new people to the franchise be expecting of this? Leave your comments down below and let's talk about it. If there's a game you think I should play, let me know. And maybe it'll be on the next episode of Worth the Time. Like the video, hit that like button, and check out my other videos. Weekly content is coming in regularly, so subscribe to stay tuned. This is Perspective Gaming. I'm your host, Flame078, logging off for now, and until next time, adios.